The bathroom was silent, too silent. Only the faint dripping of a tap echoed off the cold, tiled walls. Emma stood frozen, her back pressed against the stall door, her wide brown eyes darting from one sneering face to another. 3 girls from her class had cornered her, their arms crossed, blocking the exit like prison guards. The leader, Madison, smirked and held up a plastic cup, filled halfway with cloudy toilet water. "Drink it." Madison's voice was low, laced with venom. "Or you're going to regret even coming to school today." Emma's heart pounded so hard it felt like it would crack her ribs. She wasn't a fighter, she wasn't loud, and she never defended herself. Not because she was weak, but because she knew no one ever listened when quiet people spoke. She had been the quiet girl since first grade. Books were her friends. The library was her safe place, and staying invisible was her survival strategy. But today, invisibility had failed her. "Why are you doing this?" Emma whispered, her voice trembling. Madison laughed and shoved the cup closer. "Because we can. And because watching you squirm makes school a lot more fun." The other girls giggled, their laughter bouncing off the walls like cruel echoes. Emma's stomach churned, not just from the disgusting cup in front of her, but from the crushing humiliation pressing down on her chest. For a brief second, she thought about giving in, just to make them leave. But then, something inside her shifted. Emma had kept a secret. One she never wanted anyone to know, not out of shame, but because she knew the moment she used it, everything would change. She took a deep breath, her eyes suddenly locking onto Madison's with a calm intensity that made the bully hesitate. Emma spoke slowly. "You have no idea what you're getting yourself into." The girls laughed again, but this time their laughter was weaker, edged with unease. Emma's hands stopped shaking. She stepped forward, her voice steadier than it had ever been. "I told myself I'd never do this again, but you just made a mistake." Madison opened her mouth to respond, but before she could, Emma moved. In one fluid motion, she grabbed Madison's wrist, twisted it gently but firmly, and the cup clattered to the floor. Madison yelped in surprise, stumbling back. The bathroom fell silent. Emma didn't attack, didn't raise her voice. She simply stood tall, her posture radiating an unshakable confidence that none of the girls had ever seen in her. "You think I'm afraid of you because I'm quiet," she said, her tone almost soft. "But being quiet doesn't mean weak. It means I've been watching, listening, and I know exactly how to deal with people like you." The 2 girls behind Madison shifted uncomfortably. Madison herself was speechless, her cheeks flushing red. Emma stepped closer, lowering her voice so only they could hear. "You want to humiliate me? Go ahead. But remember, every time you look over your shoulder from now on, you'll wonder if I'm there. I'm done being your victim." Something in Emma's eyes, cold, determined, and fearless, made Madison take a step back. "We were just joking," she stammered. "No," Emma replied. "You weren't. But I'll give you one chance to walk away and never try this again." For a long moment, no one moved. Then Madison, looking suddenly much smaller than before, turned and pushed past her friends toward the door. "Let's go," she muttered. The other 2 followed, avoiding Emma's gaze. As soon as they were gone, Emma exhaled and leaned against the sink, her hands gripping the edge until her knuckles turned white. She wasn't shaking anymore, but her heart still raced, not from fear, but from the rush of finally standing up for herself. Word spread quickly. By the end of the day, whispers of, "Did you hear what happened in the bathroom?" circled the school. Madison and her friends avoided her completely. But the real victory wasn't their fear. It was Emma's realization. She didn't need to be loud to be strong. She didn't need to fight to win. She only needed to believe that her voice, quiet or not mattered. Weeks later, another student, a shy, younger girl, found herself cornered by a different set of bullies. Before they could do anything, Emma stepped into the hallway. She didn't need to say much. One look, one calm, confident step forward, and the bullies scattered. From that day on, Emma wasn't the quiet girl anymore. She was the girl who taught everyone a simple truth: silence can be a shield, but courage, no matter how softly it's spoken, can be louder than any cruelty.